Welcome to the Heartcore Hustle, the ultimate video podcast all about business, biceps, and spirituality, featuring incredible guest interviews from the world's top authors, entrepreneurs, investors, musicians, motivational speakers, and more. Feel free to subscribe, and we'll see you on the other side. Hi, everyone. It's Felicia Pizzonia with our video podcast, The Heartcore Hustle. When you hustle from the heart, it's not hard. You do what spontaneously inspires you from within. Today, we have truly an epic entrepreneur that encompasses everything from A to Z in terms of being spontaneously inspired from within, living the Heartcore Hustle. Little bit about our guest before I surprise you with who it is, and that is she started her career in Hollywood, soon became a successful actress and model of TV, film, and film fame, along a lifelong competitive sports shooter, and now author, businesswoman, public speaker, empire builder, and visionary. Elena currently hosts her own show, Women in Power, and she might be featured in the next Babes in Business Suits. And she also co-hosts the G&E Show with her husband, Grant Cardone, or as we like to say in Italy, Cardone. Best-selling author, entrepreneur, and real estate investor. Together, they have created a real estate portfolio of almost $1 billion. She has been happily married since 2004, July 4th to be exact, and the fireworks have never stopped. And lives with her husband Grant and their two daughters Sabrina and Scarlett in Miami Beach. So without further ado, we have Elena Cardone with us. Thank you for
perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you for the awesome welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for making the time in your very busy schedule. Much appreciated. So, Elena, tell us a little bit about, or Elena, I'm sorry, I keep making you Italian.
It's okay.
I make
Italian,
everyone
Italian.
Perfect. I like to turn everyone into Italian. Matt is now Matteo, our producer. So.
Oh yeah, that's great. As he should be.
That's right. So, Elena, tell us a little bit about when was your big break? The moment you expanded your mind and hit your first million.
Well, that's an interesting question because I married more money than I made my entire life. Like it all changed in a day for me. So once I married Grant and he already had, let's say he was in the tens of millions at that point, we really hit our next goal as a couple when we started to really acquire major assets in the real estate world. Mm-hmm. So I think where I really feel like I've hit it now, 15 days it closes, and in 15 days we will have $2 billion in assets under management. And now is the time where I feel like I have made it and I've had that breakthrough moment. I never had a breakthrough moment on $1 million. I hate to sound unappreciative, yes. But $1 million isn't a lot of money in today's world. I feel like we grew up and our parents were like, oh, $1 million, you can live forever. $1 million in today's world, it's morsels.
Yes.
You put your kids through college. You can't, pay your rent, your car, your groceries. It's just not a real number anymore.
Yes.
$1 billion, not that $1 billion has to be somebody's target, but it certainly has to be in the multi-millions in order to just survive comfortably.
Yes, definitely. And we're here to experience comfort, joy, security, and ultimately fulfillment. So on that note, Elena, tell us a little bit about how you have, how do you accomplish fulfillment? Clearly you're living it, but tell us your top 3 highest priorities.
My highest priorities are continually working on myself daily to become a bigger version of myself and to push myself to greatness. After I do that in myself, then I look for it in others.
Excellent. And tell us in a nutshell, what is the 10X rule?
The 10X rule was a book that my husband wrote that means basically any goal that you want to do 10 times whatever you think the amount that it would take to get there by 10. And then if you at least fall short, you're so much ahead of your game. So it's about taking massive action. It's about a mindset of going for greatness. It's stepping outside of the normal and being obsessed with life and going for 10 times what you think you should have or deserve or want. Just
Love
10x everything.
That's right. Love it. Take massive action. Time will pass anyway, so you might as well just take massive action and have a positive mental attitude. Brilliant. So tell us, Elena, being that you encompass power in all aspects. I don't say that to, stroke your ego, if you will. I'm telling it like it is. Radical transparency and radical honesty. You're a mother. You're a powerful woman. I see you kickbox. I love it. I brought my pink glove for you to, one day we'll kickbox together. And how do you balance it all? And you're still like super cool and just awesome human. How do you balance everything?
I balance everything by eliminating anything or any particle in my life that is a liability to me, includes people. I'm very ruthless and savage in my mindset like that. I'm a very nice person. I'm a very real person, but for the goals and the things that I want to do in this teeny tiny window of opportunity of a lifetime on this planet, I don't have time to surround myself with anyone that's going to hold me back, doesn't believe in me, or a liability. So they're cut. They're just gone. As soon as they're not competent or anti-Team Elena or Team Empire Builder, they're gone. And I surround myself with people that are really on the team, that have the same vision, drive, hunger that I do. And then balance, I prioritize. I don't have to be the superhero anymore and do everything myself and drive myself insane or feel guilty that I'm not doing it all. I gave up all of that years ago. And so I delegate, I hire out, and then I focus as hard as I can on everything that is a priority. And I just give it my all as I'm doing it. So when I'm with my kids, I'm doing my kids. I'm being silly. I'm being goofy. When I'm with my husband, I'm wearing multiple roles. I'm being his assistant, his lover, his wife, his friend, his confidant. I'm doing whatever. And then when I'm, doing philanthropic work, I'm doing that. And I don't really need balance when I have such a support team of powerhouse, competent people in place that believe in me and my mission and are willing to help me with that. And vice versa. It can't, a friendship or it can't just be one.
Brilliant. Excellent. And Elena, tell us a little bit about this incredible book. Your latest book, love it, by the way. I was able to speed read. I just received it a few days ago. Tell us, how long did it take you to write your book and what inspired you to write it?
It took me about 10 months, maybe 11 months to write the book. I had a lot of protest on it. I never went to college. I was not a really good student. If it wasn't for my ability to memorize, I probably would have flunked out, but I have a very good memory and could regurgitate data, which is why I got A's and B's. So anyway, my story to that is it was a very difficult process. It brought up all that protest and having to sit down. I'm not someone that can sit still very long. But once I got over all those issues, and I just wrote and kept rewriting and scratching and rewriting, it took what it took. Grant was very instrumental in me writing the book because he said, you need to write a book. You have all this information and you're being lazy by not giving that to the world. And so the challenge was set. And that's when I just hunkered down and finished the book. And now it's something I'm really proud of. I know that in the right hands and with the right person, I know this book can help them fast track their way to success faster than, I had to learn it all myself. No one gave me the manual and said, do this.
Brilliant, as you should be, Elena. Tell our listeners and viewers, where can they purchase the book?
Well, if you're out of the country, unfortunately, you can still get the book for free. If you're in America, you can get the book for free. But out internationally, they're going to charge you an enormous shipping price. But if you go to elenacardone.com/empire,
And in my humble opinion, it's worth the investment. Whether it's $30, $40, you're serving a vast number of people and offering a fair exchange. So I definitely highly recommend, whether you're Canadian, Australian, Italian, invest in a copy of Empire. Phenomenal book, coming from a book publisher herself, being in the business 13 years. I think there's a little credibility there. So back to you, Elena. Let's talk about, my pleasure. You're very welcome. Happy to help. Let's talk about what legacy do you wish to leave behind?
I want to leave a legacy of empire builders that had the courage and the audacity to go commit and build an empire for themselves. And if any of those people were to come back and say, that woman right there, she was the one who helped me. She made a difference in the world, in my world. That's the legacy I want to leave. I want to be remembered for helping people.
Beautiful. Love it. And Elena, tell us about your lifestyle. I know that you work out hardcore and so forth. And a few people wanted to know, does Elena meditate?
No, I don't meditate. I don't, it's just not my thing. If it helps other people, then have at it. But I don't meditate. I don't, no. I don't know.
Okay. And do you feel that everyone has a divine destiny to be successful, or is it just simply destiny?
You mean like you're asking me if it's already preset by the heavens, or do they create their
Correct.
destiny?
That's what I'm asking. Yes.
I believe that you create your destiny. Yeah, I believe that there's God, but I believe there's also, to an extent, God in myself, for myself and my universe, whatever that might mean to me. I'm not saying I'm your God or a God, and I believe that I am cause over my life. So in that sense, I am like the God to myself, if that makes sense. And I believe I can create my destiny. And I have shifted my destiny from myself as a teenage self to where I am now. I shouldn't be here right now. It came with a decision, a certain focus, and an energy that got me here. I would not be here if I were still my 17-year-old self. It didn't just happen. It wasn't just, the Lord above said, you're going to do this great, wonderful thing. No, I created that and continue to fight and create for everything I have every single day of my life.
Amazing. Love it. Elena, tell us a little bit about perhaps the top 3 things that you would share, being a powerful influencer, the top 3 things that you think our youth and teens are in lack of. Like, what would they need to know today?
Well, one is learn how to be a friend to yourself. Learn how to seek your own counsel. Like, Stop pretending you don't know. Stop pretending you don't know. And learn how to be a friend to yourself. When you mess up, okay, you make the adjustments and move on, make the correction. You don't need to beat yourself up and agonize, and you wouldn't do it to your friends, so don't do it to yourself. And then also be willing to hold yourself accountable for when you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing. Don't let yourself off the hook. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps and knock it off and get back on the right path. And then the second thing I would say is build that confidence muscle. And the way you build a confidence muscle is you do what you say when you say you're going to do it. And you can start off by taking little small actions. Make your bed in the morning. I'm going to drink a gallon of water a day. I'm going to work out 2 times a week. I'm going to not do dessert 4 times this week. And really hold yourself accountable to doing that. And once you've actually listened to yourself and done it, that's how you develop more confidence. You're like, wow, I'm a person that I can depend on. I can count on myself. When I say I'm going to blah, blah is going to happen. Why? Because it always happens, because that's what happens. And the interesting thing is, when you get that on a big enough scale, the world, the physical universe starts listening to you. It becomes easier and easier. Oh, I'm going to own a jet. I own a jet. Because the world's done fighting me. It's like, I better back off from that girl because she always gets her way. Let me go over here and pick on this person who's always a victim. I can go mess with their lives.
Totally, I got you. And
Yeah.
Elena, the 4 people you hang out with the most is ultimately who you become. So you're right, bringing it back full circle to set those boundaries, protect your energy, and success breeds success.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. And then the last thing for me is, I wasted a lot of time. I'm not judging anyone, because certainly I've been there, but I wasted 2 decades just even playing around with drugs and alcohol. And if someone really wants to develop and create an empire, I would leave it alone. It's just, you can make a lot of mistakes. You can misread people. You can say things you don't mean because you were drunk. You can do things you don't mean because you were on drugs. It's not conducive to really like building an empire. So if someone really wants to build and go for, I'm talking extraordinary things in life, I would steer
Yes,
clear
I
of
agree
that.
with you. You don't want to be part of the cult of mediocrity. Um,
Who
brilliant.
are you without those
Yes.
things? Who do you have to be fun at a party and sober? Who do you have to have the courage to go up and introduce yourself without having to have a liquid
Yes, I
courage,
agree. And the beauty of it is, I always say, flash forward to being 90. None of it mattered. There's no such thing as fear. Just have the courage to do what's right and do what's within. In the word courage is the word heart.
Exactly.
And so we're here. It's all about the heart, the highest vibe.
Wow.
So tell
Wow.
us, Elena, the beautiful thing about you is that you're radically transparent. There's many beautiful things, but one of the things we've noticed is that you're radically transparent and radically genuine. I really believe and could put $2 million on this table. Because I know I'll win. That's why I would put the 2 million. That charisma and being genuine cannot be taught. You're just naturally like that. So tell us, do you think that if somebody is, for instance, not in harmony with integrity, can they succeed and build an empire?
I do believe so. I've seen it before, but the foundation is extremely weak and it can be destroyed very easily. Look at the Harvey Weinstein. You know what I mean? For me, an empire to really be something of substance, what is it that you want? Who is it that you want to be there around you? What is it that you want all the members to contribute to? And if you're building an empire on dishonesty, lack of integrity, lack of trust, you're going to have thieves. You're going to have, the drunkards that just come in and take a dump in the middle of your courtyard. You're going to have, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have
That's
filth
right.
lawsuits, marriages breaking up, kids unhappy, you know
Totally.
what I'm saying? It doesn't
Exactly. It's
sustain.
not sustainable.
It's not. It's
Yep.
quicksand.
And what you're building is a solid foundation. And we all have here great respect for the Cardone enterprise or empire. So tell us, Elena, what do you think is enough? How much money is enough, in your opinion?
Oh, I have enough money now. I have enough money now to be happy and to live. I don't really spend a lot of money, as odd as that may sound, because I do have my little Chanel purses and stuff. But I have enough now. But if you're asking me when's enough, it's never enough. Because I haven't hit all the people of the planet. I have grandiose ideas. I'm delusional. I am obsessed. I am not normal. So for me, it's never enough because I haven't hit my potential. I'm operating at maybe 15% of my 100% potential. So it's never enough. Now, in terms of money, I put money targets in place for one reason. Like, I want to hit this $1 billion mark, and then target 2 is $10 billion mark. The only reason I have $1 billion marks in place is because those are the equivalent for a world title belt. You need things in the physical universe that represent a title belt. I need the belt. I need to see when I've hit targets. So the plane, the G550 that we have, that, yes, it's a beautiful plane. I love traveling the world. It gets me access to the world, make friends of the world. But that piece of equipment also is a symbol in the physical universe of every right decision I've made, every sacrifice I've made, everything that my husband and I have done, blood, sweat, and tears to get where we are. It's a reward. So $1 billion, I don't need $1 billion. I'm like I said in the book, I'm happiest running down a range with my, guns. That's when I'm most happy. It's not when I'm in a Chanel outfit. It's when I'm shooting targets.
Awesome.
Because I like to hit targets.
Love it. Elena, thank you for sharing that. Yes, brilliant. Brilliant answers. So tell us, Elena, what do you think in terms of the business world? Where's there a gap in the market? What do you see, what do you foresee is the next best trend? Yes.
For business, well, I'm completely biased because I'm in the real estate world and that's what I understand. So I believe, unless you're talking about like the artificial intelligence, I know a lot of people are big on that. But if you're just talking about business-wise, the real estate, I believe the millennials and the younger generation, they're not like our parents where you bought a house and you stuck and stayed for the rest of your life and you were held by the bank. I feel like they're way too savvy. They want to travel the world. They want to go here. They want to go there. I feel like there's going to be less purchases of homes and more into rental property. Can just rent for a year, 6 months, whatever at a time. So I have all of our money in apartments, high-end apartments where someone can go and swim in a $2 million swimming pool and have a movie theater and, have all the luxuries that they couldn't have if they just had a home, they can't have a $2 million home unless you're buying a $15 million home.
Elena, tell us, because, you're such a great and powerful influencer. Tell us a little bit about what do you eat? How often do you work out?
I work out 4 or 5 times a week for sure. I work out about an hour and a half. I do 30 minutes of weights and then an hour doing Muay Thai, like kickboxing, boxing style stuff. And then I drink a gallon of water a day. I take my vitamins. I'm on 10X Health System. So I take custom pharmaceutical vitamins specifically catered to my deficiencies and what I need for my body. And then eating wise, I make sure I'm a pescatarian, so I don't eat meat, but I do eat seafood. So I just try to eat a good balance of protein that I get from seafood or some sort of a vegetable. I'm really horrible about eating vegetables, but I try. I attempt it every now and then. I do love my salads, but then I'm also, I'm not so disciplined. So if the kids come home with pizza, I'm taking a slice. It's not like I eat donuts all the time, but, maybe a donut every 3 months, 4 months. But yeah, I'm not perfect. I could definitely be better in the food department. I love pastas and carbohydrates and all that stuff you're not supposed to eat.
There's your Italian DNA.
It's my Italian DNA. That's
nice.
right.
Well, thank you for sharing that. A lot of our listeners and viewers wanted to know, so I appreciate that.
The gallon of water is the big secret, though. People aren't drinking enough water, so I love the water.
Is it alkaline water? Any special water?
I do drink the alkaline water. I drink that Kangen water. We have a machine at our house, but any water, just a gallon. I think it just makes everything work and flushes you out and keeps you hydrated. Your skin looks good. And, I've noticed a difference when I'm dehydrated from when I'm not. My performance in the gym is so much better when I'm hydrated.
I agree. We try to drink a gallon here, too, which is about, 3 liters, Matt? Something like that. Okay, cool. 3 or 4. So tell us, Elena, what do you feel is, you notice with the millennials and so forth, there seems to be, there's criticism around them in terms of the lack of skills or attention or ADD or what have you. And I beg to differ. What do you feel is really the challenge, if you will, in terms of getting them motivated or focused, that specific age group?
You know, I think they just have a lot of windows open, like on the computer. And they have attention for a lot of different things. And I think people try too hard to make them be like them, like an adult. But it's a different way and it's a different world. And, you know, I find that those young people are very motivated in what they're interested in. You know, maybe they just don't have interest in you or that person, and so they want to label them ADD, but it's, you haven't tapped into what excites them. But that generation, it's all I surround myself with, but those are the type of people that I attract. They're very hungry, they're very motivated, they're very driven, they want to learn. And then yes, I understand there's another side, but I haven't met many of those, but I know they exist, where they feel entitled and people need to do everything for them. But I don't really get out enough to see those type of people. I know that sounds horrible too, but I'm just not in places where those people
are. No, that's
are.
all good. So, Elena, our listeners and viewers would like to know, are you ever going to come to Canada, Toronto specifically, to do a massive event?
We do have that on the books. I don't know when exactly, but I know it's coming up this year. I know Grant for sure is speaking. We'll see if they add me to the roster. That would be so much fun. I've never been to Canada, but I love Canadians. Oh, gosh, Canadians are the best. I've met Canadians even when I've been in other parts of the world, and they are all just genuinely so much fun and nice people. I hate to use the word nice because normally that's associated with not a good term, but I love how, like, genuinely sweet.
Well, we appreciate the compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, it's such a compliment. Canadians are different than other people. They're just
much
nice.
appreciated. We can't wait for you to come, and we'd be happy to help out. As you know, I'm kind of I'd like to say a friend, acquaintance of Ellen DeGeneres. So what I'd like to do in the Heartcore Hustle would like to help you get on the show, so we could talk about that off the air.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Awesome.
She's from my hometown. She's from New Orleans.
Yes, pretty cool. She was just here a month ago, so we'll talk more about that. I have some ideas for you, Elena.
Okay.
And let's talk a little bit about books, since I'm a big fan. Readers are leaders, and I'm a fan of your book, Build an Empire. Elena, what were the last 3 books you've read? Perhaps Babes in Business Suits might be one of them.
Yeah, that's going to be the next one. I actually read a book called Make Your Bed by Admirable McGreary. And then, believe it or not, I've read all the Dork Diary series. And the reason I read Dork Diary series, you might ask, is because these are the books I have to read to my kids at night before bed. So I've been through pretty much every kid book you can imagine for the last 3 books that I've read. But I really should read more, but honestly, my confession, I told you, I never liked school, so I never grew up with an appreciation for reading. I always thought I was dumb, so I don't have that habit of reading books. Like, I love it every time I do it, and I think I should do it more, but I don't read enough. I'll listen to it on audio instead.
Elena, tell us a little bit about, like, you know, I just find you super genuine and super cool. And it's, I hate to say this, but at times it is rare to find that in the female entrepreneur world. I know like attracts like, so there's no doubt and no coincidence that we are here together today, and super grateful for that. And you're definitely a gal pal, but there's quite a few women out there, at the risk of generalizing, that unfortunately, and I've seen this in my last 2 decades, that unfortunately don't really support each other. So can you give us a few tips on whether it's a woman or a man, but I'm focusing on female entrepreneurs right now for this specific question. What can women do to support each other, and what do you advise?
You know, it is because, I mean, I like women more now than ever before because I understand them more. I grew up kind of tomboyish, so I was always hanging around men. But the more I've come to appreciate the power of a woman and what we do and can contribute, the more I want to help other women that have the same or similar mindset. I think what can you do? It's when you get confident and comfortable enough in who you are, and you've become enough of an asset to yourself and to others, that you can then branch out and be willing to help anyone else because you're not threatened. No one, like I know no one can take anything away from me. People ask me that question all the time. If you lost all your money, what would you do? And I said, okay, I would recreate it because I still have my honor, my integrity, my courage, my discipline, my sacrifice. I wouldn't take as long getting it the second time as it took me the first time. But those are qualities you can't take away from me. So even if I befriend a woman and I have helped her and I've put myself on the line and she betrays me, which of course has happened, they still can't hurt me. They still can't take away anything. I learned my lesson from it. I learned how to read people better. I take responsibility of what red flag I ignored that kept me in that situation. And then I make the adjustment going forward, and I try not to get that chip on my shoulder. But does it still hurt? Yes. But I feel like that's the rare case. The women that I've surrounded myself with, I will do anything for, and they will do anything for me. And I don't need a whole lot of friends. I just need that core group. And we really empower or allow each other the space to have our own power to grow and to help each other. And when you have that, I mean, when someone realizes that they're never going to build an empire alone, that it's never been done in the history of all the world, you understand that you need people in this world. So in order to find your strength and your independence, you're going to need other people, whether it's other women, a partner, a man. It does not matter. I don't care about the sex of it all. Ones that you allow in your life really are there to help and grow and get you to the next level.
Yes, agreed. And it's quality over quantity.
Yeah, and it has to be an exchange. There has to be an exchange. Like I give to this girlfriend, she gives to me, but not in a, well, I'm not going to give you until you give. It's not like that. It's just
reciprocation.
It is flowing. It just does that way.
Yes.
And those are the really healthy relationships.
Definitely.
It can't just be one-sided. You're always going to this one friend's side who always needs the help and this. And it's like,
yes, no, that's exhausting. It's based on the law of reciprocation, ebb and flow. Beautiful. Very nice. Well, I totally agree with you. And when you're on that high vibe of love and gratitude, that's the highest vibration. Law of vibration. Secondary is the law of attraction. So speaking of that, one of our partners in the publishing house is Bob Proctor. He says hello. He was in the hit movie The Secret. And he has a question for you. He said, Felicia, please ask Elena this specific question. So I said, sure, Bob. And the question is, do you believe in the laws of the universe, the law of attraction?
I never studied any of that. I don't really know what that means. I hear that all the time. I don't believe, if it's this, where you think something and then it manifests, no. Do I think something and then know then that I have to take, like the 10X rule, massive actions in order to make that become a reality? If that's what law of attraction is, then yes. But I don't believe if I just say chants to myself or say, I'm a good person, or money flows to me and then it's going to flow to me. I think, no, that doesn't work for me.
No, agreed. I think part of it is definitely thinking it, what you think you become, but then you have to take massive action. So I totally agree with you.
I've never, honestly, I just don't know enough about when people say the law of attraction. I don't know what that means because I've never read a book. I didn't read the book, The Secret. I've never studied that area. So I kind of have it's a misunderstood word for me. I don't know what that means in order to speak educatedly enough on it.
Mm-hmm. And no, all good. And Elena, tell us a little bit about your vision on, or your opinion on, formal education. We know that many great leaders in this world that are self-made multimillionaires and billionaires have had no formal education. So what do you feel about, formal education, university, college?
Well, I never went to college, and I believe if a person wants to become a brain surgeon or a lawyer, or has some specific reason to go to school, even if it's just, look, if you want to go to Harvard just to network, to meet the Obamas or the Bill Gates of the world, then go meet those people for that reason. Or go there to study to become a brain surgeon. But for me, no, I don't believe in that sort of education. And based on the people that I've spoken to that have gone to college, they didn't learn what they needed in college to actually apply to the real world for what they actually needed. So again, I'm not your best candidate to speak for colleges. I never went.
And it's all good. Like I said, most of the most successful people on this planet have had no formal education, and just wanted to.
Yeah, I think it's just knowing who you are and what your purpose is,
Yes.
and figuring out how to be creative and get what you want accomplished. And I'm not sure that college can teach you that. They can teach you a curriculum that's standard from across the board, but I don't think they teach you how to be original, or how to get past the gatekeeper, or how to make the 100th call after you've had 10 million no's in your face, or, you know, how to pick yourself up after you've had a lawsuit put on you by your best friend, you know, that was a con person. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, I don't know that college can really prepare you for the real deal in life. So, you know, and I'm not really sure that companies really look at your college degree anymore, do they? Maybe.
Not really.
Maybe
I agree with you. Like, unless you're into medicine, a medical doctor, or some sort of a mechanical engineer where you're dealing with aerospace or what have you.
Right.
I think.
Well, we don't. Here at Cardone Enterprises, you send a 60-second video so we can kind of just get a feel of how you speak, what you look like, how you present yourself. Like, I can just get a vibe from
Yes.
somebody. And then if they make it beyond that, we'll have the interview, we'll talk to them, then we'll give them a project. Like, if it's a video guy, here's some footage, turn it into this, and oh, and by the way, you have 15 minutes. And, you know, just watching them, do they freak out? Are they like, that's impossible? Or do they just put the best that they can put in 15 minutes and deliver it? And they take an order. Like, college doesn't teach you how to comply, take an order, duplicate. Like, can I give green when they ask for green, or do I give blue when they ask for green? You know what I'm saying?
Totally agreed. I mean, we interview people here at the Ultimate Publishing House, and character counts. We have people with MBAs that have no personality, and unfortunately, they won't be working with us because they have to have charisma, character, the likability factor. So that's awesome, Elena. So as we come closer to the end of our interview, I wanted to know if you can share with our viewers, where is the next stop for your world tour? When does it begin, rather?
Oh, it begins on Thursday. What is that date? The 8th or the 9th? And we start in Romania, then we go to Malaysia, Singapore, Dubai, Israel, and then maybe someplace in between, and then we end in London. Then we're back here for another month or so, and then we go back on the road for 2 months, and then that's all over the world. Australia, China, Moscow. I mean, just all over.
Fantastic.
For the next 2 months. Yeah, it's going to be so exciting.
And where could they find more information? Which website?
I would go to grantcardone.com, and they should have all the tour dates up there.
Okay, fantastic. And if one of our listeners or viewers or anyone on this planet would like a one-on-one coaching session with you, would that be possible?
Oh, definitely. You can go to elenacardone.com, and then you can see it. What's that? Products. It's in the store. Yeah, elenacardone.com/products.
Amazing. Fantastic. I highly recommend that our listeners and viewers do that. If you're looking for a mentor that has created unbelievable success, Elena Cardone is definitely a prime choice. So,
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So, Elena, before we conclude our interview, is there anything that you'd like to share with everyone, something special and unique in terms of entrepreneurship?
In terms of entrepreneurship, it takes guts, it takes courage. It doesn't take money. A lot of people think it takes money. It takes courage. So if you have a product or service that you believe in, then don't give up on it and continue to push for it and get it seen by the right people and get it into the marketplace so that, you can continue to grow and expand and just, be willing to do whatever it takes to get that product known. You have to get known. It's not best product, it's best known product that wins. So if you're not on the social mediums because you don't like social media, then shame on you. You're not there for you, you're there for them. So you should be on every single platform. LinkedIn is going to be different than Snapchat. Snapchat is going to be different from Facebook or Instagram. And you have a complete free world. YouTube, find out how you can become the expert in your field. Do free videos, obviously free videos, 10-minute videos on YouTube. Do a minute thing on Instagram. Become the expert in your field. Do this multiple times a day. Just keep getting it out. Even though you don't have followers in the beginning, just keep getting it out over and over. You don't know who it's going to get shared with, and really just build your audience and get your product known. You have to be seen. Money follows attention.
Yes.
So you have to be willing to stand out and speak up and sell your product. You have to believe in your product enough to where it would be a crime for me not to tell you about it because it's that good and you should have it. So you should be telling everyone about it. Your teacher, your kid's teacher, your kids should be telling the other kids at school, hey, if you need a party planner, my mom's the best party planner, whatever it is that you do.
Yes. Brilliant. Love it. Well, this is amazing, Elena. So I would highly advise everyone to get a copy of Elena's latest book, Build an Empire, and also check out the website to get coached directly by Elena, and check out the world tour as well. And again, Elena, I really appreciate your time, and thank you so much. Super grateful for having you on the Heartcore Hustle.
Oh, man. Thank you. You are awesome. Thank you so much.